If you're seeing these signs after struggle, your gift is almost here. There's a moment right after the breakdown but before the breakthrough that almost no one talks about. It's subtle, strange, and sacred. It's the space between who you used to be and the version of you that's about to emerge. The world calls it recovery, some call it healing, but I call it the space of becoming. Because right there, in those quiet moments after the storm has passed, but before the sun comes out, you start to notice signs, symbols, echoes from something bigger than you. And if you've been struggling, if you've been walking through the desert of your soul, if you've felt like everything is falling apart, then I need you to understand something. Your gift is almost here. And the universe is already trying to tell you. But the real question is, are you listening? There's a reason pain comes before power. Every spiritual initiation begins with loss, not because the universe is cruel, but because the version of you that could have carried your next level was never meant to survive the journey, so it had to collapse. Your ego had to unravel, your attachments had to get stripped, the relationships that propped up your false self had to dissolve, and when all of that falls away, you're left standing in a space that feels empty but is actually holy. Because that emptiness is the womb of your new self, and right in that space, you begin to see the signs.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Maybe it starts with synchronicities, numbers repeating, animals crossing your path in strange ways, dreams that feel more like downloads, people randomly showing up and saying exactly what you needed to hear. Maybe your body starts to feel different, you get chills for no reason, your sleep shifts, your gut begins reacting when something's off, even if you can't explain it. All of this is the language of energy. And energy always speaks before reality catches up. That's how it works. The spiritual realm moves first, then the physical follows. So when you're seeing these signs, don't dismiss them. Don't rationalize them away. Don't wait for someone else to validate them. Recognize them for what they are: confirmations, signals, proof that your gift is approaching. And let's be clear, your gift isn't always something external. Sometimes your gift is a deeper level of peace, a new level of clarity, a capacity to love without losing yourself, a mission that finally clicks, a vision that hits so deep it feels like it came from your soul's own memory. But whatever it is, it's not random and it's not late. It's timed with precision. The universe isn't testing your patience, it's preparing your capacity. Would you really want the blessing before you had the character to hold it? Would you want the spotlight before your integrity was fire tested? That's what the struggle was about. It wasn't personal, it was preparation. I know it didn't feel like that when you were crying on the floor at 2 a.m., wondering if anyone even saw you. I know it didn't feel holy when you were ghosted by the people you gave your heart to. I know it didn't feel like divine timing when your plans fell apart, your money ran dry, your faith cracked under pressure. But here's the paradox of the path. The deeper the struggle, the higher the calling. The universe never wastes pain. It recycles it into power if you let it. If you stay with it long enough to receive the codes hidden in the chaos. And that's why the signs start showing up right after the worst part is over, because your energy has shifted, your heart cracked open, your soul became available in a way it never was before. You're not just surviving anymore, you're starting to receive, you're starting to remember. And the signs? They're not just cute spiritual Easter eggs, They're instructions, they're previews, they're whispers from your future self telling you, keep going, you're almost there. But here's something most people miss. The signs will often look ordinary. A stranger's smile, a sudden breeze at the exact moment you ask for guidance, a song that plays out of nowhere and brings you to tears. Don't overlook these moments. The universe doesn't always shout, it whispers, and only those who've been through the fire have ears to hear it. You have to become sensitive again. You have to slow down enough to catch it. Because if you're moving too fast, chasing too hard, trying to control the outcome, you'll miss the very confirmation you asked for. And let's talk about that chasing energy. When your gift is close, your ego will try one last time to take the wheel. It'll tell you to hustle harder, push more, prove yourself. But your soul will whisper something completely different. Be still, trust, receive, because this next season is not about force, it's about frequency. You don't manifest your gift by striving, you align with it by becoming the version of you who's already worthy of it. That's the key. You don't chase what's already yours, you embody it, you become it, and then it finds you. So if you're feeling weird right now, like you're not who you used to be but not quite who you're becoming, good. That's the in-between. That's the sacred void. And the signs you're seeing, they only show up when you're on the threshold. That's how you know the gift is close. You're not lost. You're being recalibrated. And the universe is already aligning everything to meet the new version of you that's emerging from the struggle. Your job now is not to figure it all out. Your job is to stay open, to stay present, to keep your heart soft even though it's been bruised, to keep your spirit clear even though it's been tested, to keep waking up even when nothing makes sense. Because every breath you take in this space between is sacred. Every step you take from here on out is not just about survival, it's about arrival. You're not just healing, you're being handed the keys to your gift. You're not going crazy, you're awakening, and these signs prove it. There comes a time on the spiritual path when you genuinely start to wonder if you're losing your mind. You question your thoughts, your emotions, your entire sense of identity. The things that used to make sense no longer do. The people you used to connect with now feel like strangers. The goals you once chased with fire suddenly feel hollow. You hear yourself saying things like, "I don't know who I am anymore." And for a moment it terrifies you. But let me tell you something that could change your life. You're not going crazy, you're awakening. And every single sign you're experiencing is proof that you're about to step into a version of yourself that's more real, more powerful, and more aligned than you've ever known. Awakening doesn't look like a peaceful yoga pose under a waterfall. It often looks like confusion, emotional chaos, and the crumbling of everything you thought was stable. That's because your old self, the one built on conditioning, trauma, survival instincts, is being dismantled. Not to destroy you, but to reveal you. The real you, the one that existed before the world told you who to be. That process of stripping away the false self is painful, it's disorienting. But it's sacred and it's necessary, because your gift, the one you've been praying for, waiting for, fighting for, cannot land in a vessel that's still holding on to a story that no longer matches your soul. One of the first signs that you're awakening is that your emotions become more intense and unpredictable. You cry without warning. You laugh in the middle of sadness. You feel joy that makes no sense and sorrow that doesn't seem to belong to any specific moment. You're not broken, you're detoxing. Your soul is clearing out years of suppressed emotion, unconscious programming, and inherited pain. You're not just healing your story, you're healing your lineage. And that kind of work doesn't come gently. It comes like a flood. But the flood isn't here to drown you, it's here to wash you clean. Another sign is that time starts acting weird. Hours feel like minutes. Days stretch. You wake up at odd hours without reason. You begin to sense that something invisible is guiding you, nudging you, waking you up, literally and spiritually. You may start seeing repeating numbers like 1111, 222, 444. You may hear the same message from different people in a short span of time. You may think of someone and they suddenly call or message you. These aren't coincidences. These are alignments. These are the breadcrumbs of the universe showing you that you're in sync, even if your mind hasn't caught up. During this time, your relationships also start to shift. Some people will ghost you, others will become overly triggered by your presence. Some will say you've changed, and they're right. The truth is, you're no longer a vibrational match to the dynamics that once kept you small. Your frequency is rising, and not everyone can rise with you. That's not a loss, that's a clearing, and it creates the space for soul-aligned connections to enter. People who see you not just for who you are, but for who you're becoming. People who don't just tolerate your evolution, but celebrate it. You might also notice that your body starts speaking louder. You feel exhausted even after resting. You crave solitude like oxygen. Your diet changes without you forcing it. Your skin, your eyes, your voice, they all begin to shift because your energy is recalibrating. You're becoming more sensitive to what's not in alignment. That's why you could no longer tolerate certain foods, environs, or conversations. It's not that you're being difficult, it's that your soul is refusing to digest anything that doesn't serve your elevation. The most powerful sign, though, is subtle. It's the quiet knowing that you're not who you used to be, and you're okay with it. Yes, you grieve the old self. Yes, you miss the familiarity of who you were, but deep down, there's a peace growing inside you, a knowing that something bigger is unfolding, a sense that you're being led, even if you don't know where. That peace, that's your soul remembering. That's the eternal part of you whispering, "Keep going, we're almost there." Now, here's the paradox. As you awaken, your outer world may not immediately reflect your inner shifts. In fact, things might look messier. You might lose a job. You might feel financially unstable. You might feel like everything is falling apart. But this is where most people give up, because they expect the awakening to come with instant clarity and reward. What they don't realize is that the external chaos is just the final clearing, the last shedding of what no longer matches your new vibration. Your gift is not late. It's being delayed just enough to make sure you're truly ready to carry it. So let me ask you something deeply personal. Can you trust what you feel more than what you see right now? Can you trust your soul more than your senses? Because the signs are everywhere. The chills that come when someone speaks truth, the tears that rise when you hear certain music, the dreams that feel more like memories, the gut feelings that turn out to be right. These are not accidents. These are awakenings. These are spiritual confirmations that you're not lost. You're just finally shedding the illusion of being found in the wrong places. And when you start honoring those signs, When you stop gaslighting your inner knowing, something incredible happens. You begin to align, you begin to attract, you begin to embody a version of yourself that no longer needs permission to exist. And in that embodiment, your gift begins to arrive, not just as an external blessing, but as an internal remembrance. You're not going crazy, you're waking up, and everything you're feeling right now, every strange sensation, every emotional wave, every moment of silence, is proof that you're becoming who you were always meant to be. The energy shift before the breakthrough is real, and here's how to ride it. There's a moment just before the breakthrough when the air around you changes. You can't explain it, but you feel it. The ground beneath your feet doesn't feel as stable, and yet something inside you feels more certain than ever. It's like the universe is holding its breath, waiting for you to take the next step. You're not quite in your old life anymore, but the new life hasn't fully arrived. It's the in-between, the liminal space, where energy shifts before the external world does. And whether you realize it or not, you're standing in that energy right now. This shift doesn't always feel good. In fact, it can feel like pressure. You may feel anxious for no apparent reason, restless, wired, and tired at the same time. Your sleep patterns become erratic, your emotions swing like a pendulum, and your tolerance for anything or anyone out of alignment drops to zero. You're not being dramatic, you're being rewired. Your nervous system is adjusting to a new frequency. Your body is aligning with the reality your soul already knows is coming. And as uncomfortable as it is, this is progress. The chaos is not a sign that you're failing, it's a sign that you're expanding. It's easy to panic in this space, to think something's wrong, but what if this is exactly what right feels like before it arrives? What if every breakdown, every miscommunication, every delay is the universe rearranging things to match the vibration of your next level? Because here's the truth, manifestation isn't about wishing, it's about becoming. And you don't become by staying comfortable. You become by choosing a higher frequency, even when everything around you is screaming to go back to the familiar. So how do you ride this energy shift without losing your center? First, you slow down, not because you're weak, but because you're sensitive now. Sensitivity is your new superpower. It's how you detect the subtle cues, the whispers of intuition, the energy of people and places. In this space, you need to protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. That means saying no without guilt. That means disconnecting from noise and reconnecting with silence. That means letting go of the need to explain your evolution to people who were never meant to understand your expansion. You also need to get radically honest with yourself. The energy shift reveals everything that's not in integrity. You'll start to feel uneasy in situations you used to tolerate. Conversations that once felt normal will now feel draining. You'll sense when someone's words don't match their vibration. This isn't paranoia, it's discernment. And the more you honor it, the more you align with truth. The more you resist it, the louder the discomfort becomes. The shift before the breakthrough demands that you choose authenticity or approval, truth or convenience, alignment or attachment. And every choice you make in this space either accelerates your breakthrough or delays it. Another key is to stay grounded in your body. When energy moves this fast, it's easy to escape into your mind, overthink, spiral, but the body is the anchor. Breathe deeply, move intuitively, eat foods that feel alive, rest when you need to. Hydrate like your cells are preparing for something major, because they are. You're not just going through a mindset change, you're undergoing a cellular shift. Your body is becoming a vessel for the energy required to carry your gift, your purpose, your next level of being. And in the middle of all this, you must remember, you're not alone. Even when it feels like no one sees what you're going through, you're being guided. The energy shift is not random, it's orchestrated, it's intelligent, and it's personal. You're not being rushed, you're being readied. The delays are not denials, they're divine pauses, giving you time to adjust to the weight of what's coming. Because the breakthrough isn't just about receiving, it's about sustaining. And sustainability comes from inner stability, not outer speed. So now I want to ask you something. Can you hold your vision even when your reality hasn't caught up yet? Can you remain faithful to what you feel even when nothing around you confirms it? Because that's the test. That's the initiation. Anyone can believe when the signs are obvious, but can you believe when the signs are subtle? Can you trust the shift when all you have is a whisper? That's what separates those who talk about manifestation from those who live it. This energy shift is not here to tease you. It's here to teach you, to shape you, to polish you into the version of yourself that doesn't just hope for the gift, but embodies the frequency of already having it. And once you become that version, the breakthrough doesn't just arrive, it has to. Because the universe always matches vibration. That's law. So the deeper question becomes, are you willing to become the person your gift is waiting for? When the gift arrives, it won't look like you expected, it'll look like you. There's a sacred irony about the destination we've all been chasing. When you finally arrive, it doesn't look like the fantasy you imagined. It looks like you. Not the version of you that was striving, performing, or pretending, but the raw, real, radiant version that emerged after the storm. The one who walked through fire and came out glowing. The one who stopped asking for permission and started walking in truth. The one who realized that the gift was never separate, never external. It was always encoded within your becoming. And when it finally shows up, it doesn't feel like a surprise, it feels like a homecoming. We've been told that blessings look like shiny objects, like applause, like big breaks and perfect timing. But the truth is, the real gifts often arrive disguised as quiet peace, as inner clarity, as the ability to sit with yourself without needing to escape. Sometimes the gift is simply the realization that you've outgrown the pain, that the triggers no longer control you, that the weight you carried for years has quietly dissolved. You look around and realize you're not reacting the way you used to. You're not chasing what once chased you. You're not proving anything to anyone. And in that stillness you recognize, this is it. This is the arrival. Not outside of you, in you. The gift may come in the form of a new opportunity, a soul-aligned connection, a door that opens effortlessly, but it won't feel like a rescue, it won't feel like something saving you, it will feel like something reflecting you. It will feel like meeting yourself in another form, because by the time the gift arrives, you'll be so aligned with it, so attuned to its frequency that it simply clicks. It doesn't explode into your life, it resonates. It fits not because it completes you, but because it mirrors you. And that's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's yours. But here's where many people miss it. They expect the gift to fix them, to fill the void, to erase the struggle. That's not how it works. The gift doesn't complete you, it meets you. It arrives when you no longer need it to save you. It shows up when you're whole enough to receive it from a place of truth, not desperation. And that's the final test. Can you receive without clinging? Can you hold the gift with open hands, knowing it's not your identity, but an expression of your becoming? Because if you try to possess it, you'll lose it. But if you honor it, it will expand you. This realization is powerful because it shifts your entire relationship with waiting. You stop seeing delays as punishments and start seeing them as alignments. You stop measuring worth by outcomes and start measuring it by embodiment. You start asking better questions, not when will it come, but who am I becoming as I prepare for it? That's the work. That's the transformation. And when you truly get this, your energy changes. You no longer move from lack. You move from overflow. You don't seek your gift, you express it. And maybe that's the greatest twist of all. Your gift isn't something you get, it's something you become. It's the way you walk now, the way you speak, the way your presence shifts the room without trying. It's the way you hold space for others because you've held space for yourself. It's the way you trust the process now, not because it's easy, but because you are the process. You are the path. You are the portal. And the more you live from that truth, the more your outer world begins to reflect it. So when the gift finally lands, when the opportunity arrives, when the love flows in, when the vision materializes, it won't feel foreign. It won't feel like luck. It will feel like recognition, like remembering, like alignment. Because it was never really about the thing. It was about the becoming. And now here you are. Not waiting, not chasing, just being. And in that being, everything finds you. You'll look back on the struggle and understand why it had to happen. You'll remember the nights you thought you were forgotten and thank them for shaping your resilience. You'll see how every delay was divine, how every closed door was protection, how every tear was a baptism into your truth. And you'll realize that the gift wasn't the end of the journey. It was the reflection of how far you've come. So if you're seeing the signs, feeling the shift, sensing the nearness of something powerful, don't doubt it. Don't second-guess your intuition. Don't shrink back into fear. This is the moment your soul has been preparing for. This is the chapter where life starts to mirror your frequency. This is the space where the gift arrives not as a reward, but as a reflection. And when it does, when it lands in your hands, in your heart, in your reality, pause, breathe it in, let gratitude flood you, not just for the gift, but for the path, because you didn't just survive the struggle, you decoded it, you alchemized it, you became the version of you that was always worthy of receiving. The gift is here, and it looks exactly like you.